welcome you back into Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati. You haven't missed a thing as we're just about set for the opening kickoff. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13.
Taken in at the 3. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Bengals offense returns to the field in the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
On 2nd and 10. Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A gain of 32 that time. This is Joe Mixon, and he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Now it's Burrow. Open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On the counter, Etienne. Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Bengals take over 1st and 10. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. Yeah, they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
On on 2nd down and 4. Burrow throwing the out route, finding Boyd for the completion. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Here we go. Big 13. Big 13.
Now Burrow on 1st down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Burrow out of his hands quickly to Higgins. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 44-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focusing under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Foyesade Oluwakin has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take-that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Down inside the 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyler Boyd, 45 yards. And the Bengals have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend. But you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here?
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up. And the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
Escaping the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a 1st down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. The Jaguars at 7-5 now of the year. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
The pickup there, 5 yards.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Play action. Now Newman. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
From midfield now, here's Newman. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, 41 yards.
And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that makes the score 21-0. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One-play drive and into the end zone for 6.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit, or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point, and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. He finds his man, complete. That's Franklin.
And the Jaguars are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5, pickup of 3.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Newman. Here's a screen for Robinson.
And he is going to lose yardage here. This will wind up a loss on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and goal.
That's a great job of tackling right there. If he could have made the first man miss, maybe he could have taken it into the end zone. Instead, they stopped him pretty well right in his tracks, and you often see that in the red zone. Offense has to be quick. In this case, the defense was quicker.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Touchdown! A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Jaguars are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Well, with that touchdown pass, I'm going to bring up a point from earlier in the year. Some of the fans were saying, when do we turn to the rookie? Well, he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I love the fact that the fans are bringing that up, because I'm not the head coach. Okay, so he's got to deal with it. But I think it's a legitimate question. With the way their season is going, I think now is the time to turn the page and let him get some starts before this season is over.
And they're able to ground it in there on the two-point try. And you and I were talking before the game that two-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for two, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for two early? That's what people are wondering about.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. To throw on 2nd and 10. Burrow looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Burrow to Boyd there for the Cincy first. And that throw there going to put him over 4,000 yards passing now for the season, maybe strengthening his MVP consideration.
And you figure with still a handful of games left to play, 5,000 yards is not totally out of the realm of possibility. The way he is playing, I think he's going to get there.
Here we go. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Burrow will throw. And that's going to be incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To the air again, Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Burrow on 3rd down.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got them pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen.
He rifles one that's intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 from Bengals TD.
Well, the offense, Charles, they were flirting with disaster, already backed up deep in their own territory. So the interception and the pick-6 ensued. That was a big play.
It certainly was, and the short field gave him the rare opportunity to take it all the way back and quickly. And once he saw that he had an open field, there's no way he's going to let that opportunity slip away, and finds his way into the end zone.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission.
When you run into slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Newman's throw here taken in by Ingram.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third.
Off the play fake, here's Newman.
On the move to his left.
He'll fight his man, Laviska Shenault.
Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
And they go play action now. Newman.
He finds his man, complete. That's Franklin.
A big play there just before halftime. And even 40 yards.
I think this defense was still trying to recover from that last play, so you wonder if they were ready for this one. You have to imagine their defensive coaches are yelling at them to get focused, because if they don't, more plays like that will result in giving up points.
They'll try to run with Etienne.
And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown.
Travis Etienne
In the final seconds of the first half.
And the Jaguars are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we send you
past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the third quarter. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
Play action. Newman.
Sliding out of the pocket. Puts it on the carpet. It's out. And the Bengals grab it. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown.
And that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You know, you force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They go play action with Newman.
It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now you got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
They'll run with Etienne. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40.
The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Newman looking to throw it.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Jaguars. Christian Kirk, 41 yards.
And the Jaguars get a bit closer.
He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw it with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will be cut down to 14. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Jags grab it. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line.
So a turnover there on the kickoff. And don't look now, but that just made things a little more interesting.
Very interesting, because when you're trailing in a game, these are the mistakes that you pray for. You just went down and scored. Now you get the football right back with another great opportunity.
Steps away. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, we know it's a tough mission for this defense to hold them to a field goal after that long kick return, but they're one play away from doing it.
They certainly are very close to accomplishing what they needed to get done, because they've...
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown.
James Robinson, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are back within a score. But just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
The point after is good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Jags grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
When you kick off and you go downfield and get the ball back.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw caught by Higgins. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Burrow hooking up with Higgins for a Bengal 1st down. Mixing up the middle. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Slant pass to Boyd. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Here's Chase now on the jet sweep. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? In the 1st half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Here's Burrow. And that is incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Love the effort there. I mean, to get a field goal block in this situation because they knew what was going on. They give up those 3 points there. It's now a 2-possession game.
Yeah, that really changes the complexion here in the 2nd half, doesn't it?
It really does, and now you give your team more than a fighting chance and a little momentum. Terrific job by them setting the tone and picking up their defense.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd down, a run with Etienne. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 45 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Newman. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. This offense on 3rd down today, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. He finds his man complete. It's Franklin. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 42. The third down conversion is successful. Give them 12 yards that time. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Newman will throw again. On the slant, he'll get it to Jones. And they'll be stopped at the 28. On a play that started at the 14, they pick up 14.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Now it's Newman. Able to complete this to Chenault. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Etienne will score. Touchdown, Jacksonville. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Point after try forthcoming. And no sweat, he puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. A 10-play drive that time.
And it was capped off by a Travis Etienne touchdown run.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter.
Taken in at the 3. And able to get this out to the 25. Cincinnati set to take over once again. And they no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here.
To Mixon on the check down.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, ends up spilling it for a loss.
On 2nd and 12, Burrow. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
On 3rd down, Burrow. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
There's a reason the number 4 was flashing through my mind when he let that one go. 3 touchdowns already in his back pocket. The deep ball's been a great weapon for him in this one. Unfortunately, empty on that attempt.
McPherson's kick is good.
And they have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Zach Taylor's made the decision. He's going to go ahead and throw out the red challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate. Let's go.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
19 Tiger, 7 Tiger.
And they'll throw on first down with Newman.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
ETN up the middle.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, here's ETN. And this will be a Jaguars first down as good running gets him to about the 44. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center because, remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion. And sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going. And I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
And they'll try and throw for it with Newman.
That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Again, it's Mixon.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Back to Mixon on second down.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's fourth down. McPherson's kick is good.
And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
So now the Jags down on the scoreboard. At time, a huge factor. A possible crippling loss to their playoff status in the balance, barring a late score. Rolling to his left. And that is incomplete.
It's been a nice day for him as a passer and as a runner. One of the few mistakes he's made in this ball game. The wrong choice on that one. That one goes incomplete.
Back to throw.
Into the hands of Ingram.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And able to find Kirk complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
He's back to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Franklin. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw.
On a bad time late for a poor throw. It's intercepted.
Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And the Bengals have just about sewn up this football game.
Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now.
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one, because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. In this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So for the Bengals, their very slim playoff hopes remain as they move to 6-7 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.